Fox Connecticut News at 4 begins now.
First at 4, a stunning proclamation from the Boston Marathon bomber in federal court today, where he was formally sentenced to die.
Yeah, more than 2 years after that finish line bombing, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev broke his silence by delivering an apology to the victims and survivors of the 2013 attack. Addressing the silent courtroom, the 21-year-old also asked Allah for forgiveness. As for the 3 people killed and hundreds injured, he said this, quote, "Immediately after the bombing, which I am guilty of, I learned their faces, their names. I am sorry for the lives that I've taken." Reaction from survivors, however, is mixed.
I regret having ever wanted to hear him speak, because what he said showed no remorse, no regret, and no empathy for what he's done to our lives.
I have forgiven him. I have come to a place of peace, and I genuinely hope that he does as well. And for me to hear him say that he's sorry, that is enough for me.
Now, the U.S. prosecutor for the case also commented as well, saying Tsarnaev, of course, apologized, but did not denounce terrorism.
Got dark really quick. We heard some noise, went down into the basement, and in like 30 seconds later, all the trees were down.
Yeah, you see some of it right here. A powerful storm turns neighborhoods into lumber yards. Now, several towns are cleaning up the damage left behind.
Yeah, today in North Haven, the National Weather Service did confirm that a microburst came through, causing some impressive damage there.
Yeah, Fox Connecticut's Mike Magnoli has more on the cleanup.
Tree crews worked all day to get front lawns back to normal along North Haven's Hartford Turnpike.
The phone just kept ringing saying, "Get home, get home."
Tony LaLuna has a debris field of limbs and brush after Tuesday's windstorm, but that's easy. Some of his neighbors had it a lot worse.
My neighbor behind me, the tree is up against her house. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But no one injured here, and many feel grateful for that.
Hurricanes, all those snowstorms, in 20 seconds did this. 20 seconds.
Now this is out of control. Just have a look at this big mess. This is where multiple trees came down at the same time into the same spot, and you can't see through there, but there's actually a car in the driveway totally crushed. The remarkable thing about this storm is how much ground it covered, and the path of it so straight, and personal accounts like this.
I own a small farm up the street here, and that wind was severe. I was in the chicken coop gathering the eggs. I saw it coming. Me and my little dog Cricket, we got to the doorway. I opened the door, the wind blew the dog in, and then blew me inside the house. And that was the last I came out until this storm. And then I heard from everybody else, this is like a demilitarized zone. Look at this, this is a mess.
Hundreds of 911 calls went out Tuesday night reporting damage and down wires. Then hundreds waited into the day for power to be restored.
Got dark really quick. We heard some noise, went down into the basement, and in like 30 seconds later, all the trees were down.
This was one for the books. In North Haven, Mike Magnoli, Fox, Connecticut.
Fast and powerful storms that moved through the state, and many residents and crews in Wallingford are cleaning up from the damage caused by the microstorm, which knocked trees onto power lines, houses, and roads. The heaviest damage happening near Spring Lake. Now, no injuries were reported, but about 3,000 customers were without power as of this morning. Several residents had trees actually crash through their homes.
There was a crash in the wind and the rain, and I noticed the brush in the back on the deck. And then I come out to the front door, and then that tree was uprooted into the house.
Amazing. Well, we're going to have more on the cleanup coming up at 5. That's also when officials in Wallingford will hold a news conference addressing the storm damage. It was a similar scene in Durham, where trees and power lines came toppling down, leaving many Eversource customers in the dark.
Yeah, and you know it was bad because the weather also postponed the town's high school graduation. Fox Connecticut's Tony Terzi is live in Durham, where the ceremony will take place in just a few hours from now. Tony?
Jan Lorenzo, behind me here on Townhouse Road near Town Green by Town Hall, an example of some of the severe damage that is strewn about town. Prior to yesterday's storm, the last time Durham suffered a 100% power outage, Superstorm Sandy almost 3 years ago. But this storm was different in that the town went dark in less than 30 minutes. Line and tree trimming crews have their work cut out for them in Durham.
We have 80 hazardous sites right now. 15 roadways are still partially or completely blocked.
At least 4 homes suffered damage and nearly a dozen poles were snapped town-wide as a result of what the National Weather Service confirmed were microbursts with wind gusts approaching 100 miles an hour.
Crews are coming down from Massachusetts to help Eversource. We are the #1 priority in the state right now.
This morning, 91% of the town was without power, but shortly after noontime, outages dipped below 60%. More good news. Coggins-Chog Regional High School graduation postponed from last night back on tonight.
Your high school graduation is memorable as it is, and throwing this in the mix just makes it that much more interesting, I guess.
The graduation was to have been held inside in the auditorium at the high school, but there's a silver lining with it being moved to Wesleyan University's Andrus Field at 7 tonight.
We always wanted our graduation to be outside, so now that we have that opportunity, we're all really excited.
Coggins-Chog opened today, giving graduates who didn't have the option at home to shower.
I don't know at this point. I might just come as I am. No, I probably will shower. Hopefully. I need one.
The one-day delay gives the class valedictorian an opportunity to brush up on his speech.
I'm feeling pretty good about, our class. We're a group of people who have learned to deal with stuff like this. We've certainly been not spared storms like this in the past.
The class of 2015's first day as high school students was postponed more than a week because of Hurricane Irene in 2011. Now, the town may decide within the next hour or two to open up the storm shelter, which is the high school about which we just spoke, Coggins-Chog Regional High School, just a half-mile south of us. The homeowner of the home behind us, feeling very lucky. We will speak to her next hour as our storm coverage continues. Live in Durham, Tony Terzi, Fox, Connecticut.
One of the things that's been most amazing to me is how positive everyone has been. All of those people who sustained damage, don't have power, just happy that nobody was hurt. And now the calm after the storm. It is absolutely beautiful today, less humid, comfortable temperatures. Some people would consider it a perfect summer day. Let me show you temperatures right now. 81 degrees in Hartford, low 80s in Bridgeport, 80 degrees in Putnam, and 75 degrees right now in the Northwest Hills. Showing you the satellite, basically, well, nothing to show you. There's a couple of fluffy clouds that have billowed up from time to time today, but that's about it. We'll be mostly clear tonight. Temperatures dropping back into the upper 50s to lower 60s. Another sunny start to the day tomorrow, but we'll see the clouds take over as we head through the afternoon, and we're going to enter into a big pattern change. It'll be cooler and unsettled for the days to come. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit, guys.
All right, thank you very much, Rachel. A Terryville mother in court today charged with manslaughter. Her 2-year-old daughter was found unresponsive back in October.
Yeah, Fox Connecticut's Laura Roberts discovered new details about this case from the arrest warrant. She joins us now live in studio. Laura?
The autopsy showed the 2-year-old had dangerous drugs in her system. Court documents seem to indicate Rebecca Robinson never gave these drugs to her child, but left them in reach. 9 months after police found a 2-year-old girl unresponsive in this Terryville home, state troopers are charging her mother with manslaughter. Rebecca Robinson was arrested this week after a lengthy investigation. Back in October, police arrived to Robinson's home to find her attempting CPR on the child. In court Wednesday, Robinson's attorney argued for a lower bond.
Some of her actions indicate that she did attempt some medical assistance to the victim.
The judge kept the bond at $750,000. Court documents reveal a drug used to treat opiate addictions was in the baby's system. When police interviewed Robinson about her own use of the drug called Suboxone, she kept changing her story. The arrest warrant says, quote, she increased the number of times she ingested Suboxone from never to 5, then 6, and then 7. Documents show police found numerous pill bottles and prescriptions in the apartment, but this drug was one she wasn't prescribed. Investigators say she had traded her friend for it. Another friend told police Robinson had come to her after an officer questioned her about the drug, and then Robinson admitted she hid the wrapper from police back in October and later destroyed the evidence. Now, Robinson has 3 other children. In addition to the manslaughter charge, Robinson is facing 4 counts of risk of injury to a child and 1 count of tampering with a witness. Laura Roberts, Fox Connecticut.
All right, thank you, Laura. When the News at 4 returns, the debate over the Confederate flag, not just in the state of South Carolina, what other states are now following suit.
And we're seeing new images of this man here who confessed to shooting 9 people in a South Carolina church. Dashcam video from a police car shows Dylan Roof's capture. See more of this next.